critical issues that I find curious here, Barrister Ekine, is this. What are some of the legal processes of expelling the founder of a party? Now, because he said that INEC was involved in the process of constituting and all of these are basically followed protocol. So why would someone just wake up and go to the media and gather somewhere and say we have expelled the founder of a party? Because this has been going on for so long, though they have approached the court. But for the education of those who may be following this story, well, what is the process that this is supposed to go through?
Yeah, thank you. It's just like every other association. I've always said that the political parties are themselves associations. What distinguishes the political party from the other associations incorporated under the Corporate Affairs Commission is that their objective is political, and then their registration is vested in the Independent National Electoral Commission, created under Section 153 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's just because they aren't required to go to the CAC, the Corporate Affairs Commission for Incorporation. So they are registered and incorporated by Independent National Electoral Commission. And fundamentally, too, for a political party or an association to be registered a political party, it is required that you also will register a constitution. And it is in that constitution you would have the creation of the offices, the provisions with respect to discipline of officers in that constitution. And so when you begin to hear that individuals or a number of individuals or an extraction of membership of a political party are beginning to act in such a way that perhaps depart from the provisions of the constitution, then you could just imagine the impunity that appears to be habitual and characteristic of the Nigerian state. But otherwise, basically when you ask, what may lead to the suspension, or if you like, a reprimand, perhaps, suspension and expulsion of any person from any organization would have to do with an infraction to the provisions of the constitution of that political party or that association.
Now,
so for political parties now, it means that you must have some allegation of commission of infraction against the provisions of the constitution or the political party. And then there should be a mechanism for addressing that infraction or that alleged commission of infraction against the provisions of the constitution. And then there must also be an organ within the constitution that should be vested with the power to do so. It's a different thing when it comes to political parties. The procedure and requirement for suspending or expelling a national executive member and any other member of that political party. At what level of the structures or organs of the political party that power is vested? That's why before now, even for the other political parties, you would hear where they say a ward executive cannot expel or suspend a national officer, a national executive council member or committee member, or a national working committee member. But sometimes you now hear and see how political party members, some will meet in hotels, some will meet in some unimaginable places, and then they are doing these kind of things. So we need to understand first, what's that infraction? What's that?
Well, he was accused of mismanaging or misappropriating by the opposition within the party.
What opportunity has been given for this person to defend
Well, they invited him. They
first
of all suspended him and invited him to come to answer to them to explain what happened. About $1 billion, they said they got from the sales of farm. Well, the party founder, being Rabbi Musa Kwakwanso, didn't show up. And then the next thing, they decided that he's going to be expelled from the party, and they did. And then this other group are coming up to say, we don't know you. The publicity sector was expelled because they're saying that, oh, we gathered this money for the party. It was from the sale of farm. You should be able to account for that. So that's basically the reasons that they gave for this.
Okay, like I said, there has to be a reason. There has to be an alleged infraction of the provisions of the Constitution. And then fundamentally, there has to be a procedure for that discipline. And then there also has to be an opportunity for the other party to be heard. The fundamental right to fair hearing inures also to members of associations, political parties. So you can actually even challenge if your association or the leadership of association is seeking to discipline you for whatever alleged infraction, if you aren't given the opportunity to finish them. So, but if all of these have actually happened, then some fundamental questions that may also arise there is also how are political parties structured and governed, corporate governance. must be incorporated in the affairs of our political parties in this country. Forms are sold. Do you pay monies for as returns for sale of forms into somebody's account? What about the structures and organs of the political party? How is money? How are forms sold? Who sells forms? Who is the financial secretary? Who is the treasurer? Because these organs exist by the constitution of that political party. So, and how can a single person access the account of that organization if monies were paid into organization? Right. Well, yes, they are subject to interrogation, no doubt. There's no person that is above and bigger than the political party. So it doesn't matter what I say is the founder of the political party or the leader of the political party. If there is an alleged infraction that's against the provisions of the Constitution, you're subject to the Constitution, you're bound by the provisions of the Constitution. You could call to answer. But I think what is worrisome really is the lack of, if you like, procedure. And again, the manipulations in political activities and processes in Nigeria, that you see that some person, when you probably feel that you're edged out from the center of a political party, you want to get, that's why you could hear now that another person who is saying, oh, the former police secretary had actually been expelled, and then the gentleman is acting that he is not. So he's saying, no, I've not been expelled. And another fundamental question is, who has the power to convene the National Executive Committee meeting or the National Working Council Committee meeting? Who has the power to expel or suspend or reprimand any official at all? How? What's the legitimacy in doing all of this? Is it a thing that an individual could do, or a thing that a group would do, or a thing that an organ of the organization would do? So these are fundamental questions that will be asked. I don't have more than probably what's in the public,
domain.
Yes, about
all right.
Yes.